Sometimes we're faced with a moral dilemma, and this is the story of what most doctors go through. The moral dilemma is this: do we do what the insurance companies tell us to do, or do we do what's right for the patient? And this is a constant problem that goes through the minds of, we're going to call them providers and employees. There used to be a time when doctors worked for themselves. Fortunately, I kind of work for myself. But a lot of doctors do not work for themselves. They work for a big company, like a named insurance company, and they are essentially employees. And there's an old saying in the world of employment that you don't bite the hand that feeds you. So you should never bite the hand that feeds you. In a private world where the patient comes in to a doctor and those are the only two people in the room, the person who pays you is the patient. So you're obligated to do what's right for the patient. But when there's a third invisible person in the room called the insurance company who dictates exactly what needs to be done for the patient, or what's allowed to be done, I should say, you are no longer a doctor. You are a provider of services. And this is a moral dilemma, and I am faced with this occasionally with certain patients that have a particular type of insurance company that dictates what the allowable diagnoses are, for those diagnoses, what the allowable treatments are. We're not allowed to, for example, we're not allowed to give nutritional advice. Can you believe that? We're not allowed to do treatment on the muscles. We're not allowed to do any type of active release or myofascial treatments. We're not allowed to do massage. We're not allowed to give exercises to the patient. We're only allowed to use an adjustment. And there's so much more that we were trained in to holistically help a patient. So the question becomes, as a provider for my employer, which is the insurance company, do I give those services to the client, or do I act as a doctor? These are the problems that a lot of doctors go through. They go through medical school or chiropractic school. I'm sure it's a little bit the same in dental school, and they have these ideas that I'm going to help the world and I'm going to help people with my knowledge and I'm going to do good for humanity. And then you get a job at a location and then you're essentially told what to do. They already have the algorithm, and that's really what it boils down to. A lot of healthcare is an algorithm, and you know how those work. So one of the challenges in healthcare is trying to balance who is in charge. And ultimately the patient and the doctor should be the ones mutually discussing together how to get that patient better. The doctor should be allowed to use all his knowledge base that he has. And the patient should be allowed the opportunity to get all information in front of them on the table and then make decisions based upon what they think is right for them. And having said that, it sounds so logical, but there's been a lot of times that isn't allowed on both ends. So the question is, what the heck do we do? How do we solve this? And that is kind of the purpose of YouTube. It's kind of the purpose of Google. It's kind of the purpose of search engines, for you to gain access to information that you may not be getting from a provider of services that you're consulting because you're a client. And when all of those things get I don't want to say the word that I actually mean because I don't want to get in trouble, and this is the problem. Filtered. I don't think filtered is a word we're not supposed to use at all right now. It will be someday. But if the information gets filtered to you through You know what? I should probably just stop right here. Anyway, my point is, guys, that I will do my best to give you the correct information that I have learned. I've been in practice for 26 years. I seem to have gathered enough experience to at least almost be dangerous. Almost dangerous. Hey, I might use that. So in summary, every doctor goes through this challenge of trying to manage the demands of the insurance company, the demands of people above and behind our backs, telling us what to do, with the actual patient in front of us who really needs our help. And the knowledge that we gain over years of practice, we want to actually help people. Most doctors actually genuinely want to help people. Now, there are, of course, bad apples in every profession. However, most doctors that I am aware of, that I have met, genuinely want to help, but they're struggling with this moral dilemma. So give doctors a break, and hopefully this video has helped you understand the challenges that you may be going through as a patient, as well as the challenges that the doctor goes through.